So we've made it halfway through our 8 valid patterns, our 8 rules. We have 4 more to go, and the good news is that 3 of them are really easy. 3 of them are as easy as anything, any of the 8. And then one of them is actually a little challenging. I'm going to go a little bit out of order from the book, and we're going to do the easier ones first, and then leave the hardest one for last. Here's a new rule called simplification. Simplification is a very simple rule. It basically says if you know 2 things are true, let's say that's P and Q, you are entitled to conclude that one of those 2 things is true. P, right? It's really intuitive, it's really simple. The premise tells you that P and Q is the case. Remember what that means. For P and Q to be true, both P and Q have to be true individually, on their own. Well, then we can conclude that P must be true, right? So, for example, if you came across this, you could think of this as P and Q. And you could conclude that P is the case, A is the case, right? So if you know that Sacred Heart is Catholic and you know that Sacred Heart is in Fairfield, obviously you can conclude that Sacred Heart is Catholic. Let's use it in the proof. This is a pretty simple proof. We're looking to get E here, right? Now, if we're looking to get E, what do we need? We need C. But if we need C, what do we need? We need A. Well, here's A waiting for us in this premise. So, all we need to do is to take what we need out of premise number 1 and use it. So premise number 1 tells us that A and B are both true. Well, if A and B are both true, then A is true. And I just write next to my new line why I'm able to say that. Because I've simplified line 1. Notice this is the first rule that only involves a single premise. That's fine. It's a very simple rule. Based on one premise, we can draw a conclusion. So, now that I have A, I'm in the position to conclude that C is true by modus ponens on lines 2 and 4. Now that I have C, I'm in position to conclude that E is true by modus ponens on lines 3 and 5, and I've demonstrated that E is the case. So our 5th rule, very simple rule, is called simplification.